Ladies and gentlemen, as we gather here today, let us turn our attention inward to the infinite power that resides within each one of us. Life, with all its trials and triumphs, is not a series of random occurrences, but a deliberate unfolding of our consciousness. We are not spectators to life's circumstances, we are the authors of its narrative. Each thought, each belief, and each word spoken shapes the tapestry of our experiences. Consider for a moment the divine spark that animates your being, the source of creation that lies not outside of you but within. This is the sacred truth that has been whispered through the ages: you are made in the image and likeness of God. This is not merely a metaphor, but a revelation of profound significance. It means that the creative power of the divine flows through you, waiting to be awakened by your faith and imagination. When you look at the challenges in your life, do not see them as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities for transformation. The same power that created the heavens and the earth dwells within you, ready to turn every situation around. All that is required is your belief. Faith is not passive, it is a dynamic force that reshapes reality according to your innermost convictions. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the life you desire. See it vividly in your mind's eye. Feel the joy, the freedom, and the fulfillment as if it were already yours. This is not wishful thinking, this is the spiritual act of creation. For what you imagine with conviction, you will manifest. The unseen becomes seen, and the intangible becomes tangible when you align your faith with the divine power within. The world may tell you that you are at the mercy of circumstances, but I tell you these circumstances are at the mercy of your imagination. When you change your inner state, the outer world must conform. This is the law of life, immutable and unfailing. The question is not whether this power exists, but whether you will use it consciously and deliberately. Today, I invite you to step into your divine inheritance. Whatever situation you face, no matter how dire it may seem, know this: it can and will be turned around. Hold steadfast to the vision of what you desire and trust in the process. Speak as if it were already done, and act with the confidence of one who knows that the unseen is more real than the seen. The journey from despair to hope, from lack to abundance, and from fear to love begins with a single step: the decision to believe. This is your moment to claim the life that is rightfully yours. Let us embark on this journey together, empowered by the knowledge that God within us is both willing and able to transform every situation for our highest good. Think for a moment about the immense power that orchestrates the universe, the intelligence that commands the stars in their courses and breathes life into the smallest seed. What if I told you that this same power is not only accessible to you, but flows through you? It is not distant or unattainable, it resides at the very core of your being, waiting for recognition and activation. This is the truth hidden in plain sight, yet overlooked by so many. You are a vessel of divine creation. Every great transformation, every miraculous breakthrough begins with a single spark of imagination. Close your eyes and picture your deepest desires. Imagine them not as distant possibilities, but as present realities. Feel the weight of your dreams realized, the joy coursing through you, and the freedom that comes with it. In this act of imagining, you are not indulging in idle fantasy, you are planting seeds in the fertile soil of creation. But the question remains, will you nurture these seeds with unwavering belief, or will you let doubt choke them before they bloom? Faith is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. It is the force that turns unseen possibilities into undeniable realities. Yet faith is not blind optimism. It is a deliberate choice to trust in what you know to be true at the deepest level of your soul. Think of the times when your heart has whispered, "It is possible," even when your circumstances screamed otherwise. That voice, faint as it may be, is the echo of your divine nature urging you to hold firm. Life often places obstacles in our path, moments when the way forward seems blocked and hope feels elusive. But what if those obstacles are not barriers but stepping stones? Each challenge carries within it the seed of its solution, waiting for you to see it through the eyes of possibility. Could it be that the very circumstances you wish to escape are designed to awaken your dormant power? The answer lies in your willingness to embrace them with courage and curiosity. The world around you is not fixed or immovable. It is a mirror reflecting your inner state. Change what you believe, and you will change what you see. This is not merely philosophy, it is the very mechanism of life. Imagine the thrill of realizing that you are not a victim of fate, but a creator of destiny. The shift begins when you turn your attention inward and align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with the reality you wish to experience. Now, consider the magnitude of this moment. You are standing at the threshold of a new understanding, one that beckons you to claim your birthright. Whatever the situation, however impossible it may seem, there is a way forward. But will you step boldly into your power, trusting that the same divine force that created the universe is eager to work through you? This is the question you must answer. Let us turn our focus to the transformative power of imagination, a force so profound that it shapes the very essence of your reality. Often dismissed as mere daydreaming or idle fantasy, imagination is in truth the creative engine of existence. It is the blueprint from which all that is seen and experienced is formed. Yet its potential remains untapped by many, hidden in the shadow of doubt and disbelief. Think about this: every great invention, every leap in human progress, every personal triumph began first as a vision within the mind of its creator. What you see in the world today, the buildings, the technology, the art, once existed only as intangible ideas. The moment someone dared to give those ideas substance in their imagination, the wheels of creation began to turn. The same principle applies to your life. Whatever you can vividly imagine, you can bring into being. Now pause and consider your own desires. What is it that you long for? Greater health, abundance, love? These are not far-off dreams meant for others. They are possibilities waiting for you to claim them. The first step is to see them as real in your mind's eye. Close your eyes and picture yourself living your ideal life. See every detail, the colors, the sounds, the emotions. Feel the joy and fulfillment as though it were happening now. Here is the secret: the subconscious mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. It responds to the images and emotions you impress upon it as though they were undeniable truths. When you engage your imagination with conviction, you are planting the seeds of your future reality. But like any seed, these visions must be nurtured with faith and persistence. Doubt may creep in, whispering that your dreams are too big, too unrealistic. Yet consider this: imagination is not constrained by the limitations of the physical world. It transcends logic, fear, and circumstance. It is the realm where anything is possible, limited only by the boundaries you set for yourself. When you align your imagination with faith, you create a powerful force that draws your desires into manifestation. The suspense lies in this realization: everything you could ever want already exists in the realm of possibility. The question is not whether it can happen, but whether you will allow yourself to believe it and see it vividly in your mind. The process of creation begins not with action, but with vision. Without imagination, action is directionless. With imagination, every step becomes purposeful, guided by the clarity of your vision. Will you dare to use this power consciously? Will you let go of the small, habitual thoughts that keep you confined and embrace the limitless potential of your imagination? The choice is yours, and the possibilities are infinite. In the journey of transforming your life, there is one essential force that bridges the gap between what is and what could be: faith. Faith is not a passive state of waiting or a blind leap into uncertainty. It is a deliberate and dynamic energy that shapes your reality, molding the invisible into the visible and the intangible into the tangible. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast, uncharted ocean. You can see no land in the distance, yet you are told that your destination lies just beyond the horizon. What compels you to set sail? It is faith, the deep, unshakable conviction that something exists even though you cannot yet see it. This same principle governs every aspect of life. Faith is not a mere wish or hope. It is a knowing so profound that it moves you to act as if the outcome you desire is already assured. Consider the nature of belief. What you accept as true becomes the lens through which you experience the world. When you hold firm to a belief, you radiate an energy that attracts circumstances, people, and opportunities aligned with that belief. This is not mystical but deeply practical, a reflection of the law that governs creation. Faith sets this law into motion, turning thoughts into reality and dreams into accomplishments. Yet faith often feels most difficult to maintain when circumstances seem to contradict your desires. In these moments, the temptation to surrender to doubt can be overwhelming. But here lies the paradox. Faith is not the absence of doubt, but the choice to persist in spite of it. It is the quiet assurance that what you seek is already yours, even when evidence suggests otherwise. When you hold on to this conviction, you activate a power within you that reshapes the very fabric of your experience. Faith requires action, not in the sense of frantic effort, but in living as though your desired reality has already come to pass. Speak, think, and act from a place of completion rather than lack. This alignment creates a resonance that draws the unseen into the seen. Imagine a radio frequency. You must tune in to the right station to hear the music. Faith is the tuning mechanism that aligns you with the frequency of your desires. The beauty of faith is that it transforms challenges into stepping stones. It sees beyond the immediate, recognizing every difficulty as an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your true purpose. Faith whispers to you in your darkest moments, urging you to keep moving forward, to trust in the process, and to know that all things are working together for your good. As you embrace faith, you begin to see its power unfold. Small miracles appear, doors open where walls once stood, and the impossible becomes possible. This is the promise of faith. It does not fail. It only asks that you believe with unwavering certainty, and in doing so, you become the architect of your own destiny. The question remains, will you trust this power enough to step boldly into the life you desire? Life often presents itself as a tapestry of contrasts, moments of joy interwoven with periods of struggle. The challenges we face can feel overwhelming, like towering mountains that obscure the path forward. Yet hidden within every challenge lies a profound opportunity, a seed of transformation waiting to be discovered. The question is not whether difficulties will arise, but how we choose to perceive and respond to them. Imagine for a moment that every obstacle in your life is not an accident, but a carefully placed stepping stone designed to elevate you to a higher understanding of yourself and the world. These challenges are not punishments or random misfortunes. They are invitations to grow, to awaken dormant potential, and to step into a greater version of yourself. When you begin to see life through this lens, every hardship becomes a lesson, and every setback a setup for something greater. Consider the nature of pressure. A lump of coal, subjected to immense heat and pressure, transforms into a diamond. The process is not instantaneous. It takes time, perseverance, and the ability to withstand the intensity of transformation. The same principle applies to you. Life's challenges may press upon you, testing your resilience and resolve, but they are refining you, shaping you into something brilliant and enduring. When you encounter difficulty, the natural instinct may be to retreat, to resist, or to wish the problem away. But resistance often magnifies the pain, while acceptance and curiosity open the door to possibility. What if, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you ask, "What is this trying to teach me?" This simple shift in perspective transforms you from a victim of circumstances to a student of life. Every challenge carries within it a message, a gift, or a skill that you are meant to uncover. Moreover, challenges have a unique way of revealing your inner strength. In the absence of resistance, we rarely discover what we are truly capable of. It is in the moments when we are stretched beyond our comfort zones that we find our courage, creativity, and resilience. Like a muscle that grows stronger through exertion, your spirit expands when it is tested. The very situations you wish to avoid may be the ones that hold the key to your growth. There is also an alchemical power in adversity. Often the greatest breakthroughs come when we are at our lowest, for it is then that we are forced to let go of old patterns, beliefs, and limitations that no longer serve us. Challenges have a way of stripping away the inessential, revealing the core of who we are and what we truly value. They push us to dig deeper, to trust the process, and to find faith in the unseen. As you reflect on the challenges in your life, consider this: could it be that they are not barriers but bridges, leading you to a higher version of yourself? Every difficulty, no matter how painful, carries within it the seed of its resolution. The question is whether you will allow yourself to see it, to embrace the process, and to emerge stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your purpose. Will you accept the invitation to rise? The world around you is a reflection, not an independent reality. It is shaped and molded by the thoughts, beliefs, and emotions you carry within. This understanding, though profound, is often obscured by the illusion that circumstances exist outside of your control. But what if I told you that your inner world, your mind and spirit, is the architect of your external experience? That by changing within, you hold the power to transform the world you see. Imagine for a moment a mirror. When you look into it, the reflection you see is not an independent entity, it is a perfect representation of you. If you frown, the image frowns back. If you smile, it smiles in return. Yet, no amount of effort to change the reflection in the mirror will succeed unless you first alter your expression. This is how life works. The outer world is the mirror, and your inner state is the original image. The implications of this truth are both liberating and sobering. Liberating because it places the power of change in your hands, sobering because it requires you to take full responsibility for your life. The conditions you face, whether they be of lack, conflict, or limitation, are not fixed realities. They are reflections of your inner state of being. When you shift your beliefs, emotions, and focus, the outer world must adjust to match the new image you project. Consider the role of beliefs. What you accept as true in your mind becomes the foundation upon which your life is built. If you hold the belief that you are unworthy, life will reflect experiences that reinforce that perception. On the other hand, if you believe in your inherent worth and capability, life will mirror that confidence, bringing opportunities and relationships that align with it. The world cannot give you what you are unwilling to claim internally. This is not to say that challenges will instantly vanish once you change your thoughts, but the way you experience and navigate them will transform. When you align your inner state with peace, abundance, and love, even difficult circumstances take on a different tone. Solutions appear where none were visible before, and what once felt like resistance begins to flow. The outer world may take time to adjust, but the shift begins the moment you change within. The process of inner transformation requires intentionality. It asks you to examine the stories you tell yourself, the emotions you hold on to, and the visions you entertain in your mind. Are they aligned with the life you desire, or are they rooted in fear, doubt, and limitation? To change your outer world, you must first let go of the patterns that keep you tethered to the life you no longer wish to experience. The beauty of this truth is that it empowers you. No matter where you are or what you face, you can begin the process of transformation. By cultivating thoughts and emotions that align with your highest aspirations, you send out a new signal to the universe, a signal that will be reflected back in due time. The question is, will you dare to take responsibility for the image you project, knowing that the power to shape your world lies entirely within you? In the vast expanse of creation, there exists a profound truth often forgotten. You are not merely a participant in life, you are an heir to its abundance. Within you lies a divine inheritance, a reservoir of limitless potential, wisdom, and love. This inheritance is not earned through effort or granted by external forces. It is your birthright, bestowed upon you by the very nature of your being. But like any inheritance, it must be claimed consciously for it to manifest in your life. Consider the story of someone who discovers they are the rightful heir to a great fortune. The wealth exists, held securely in their name, yet it remains inaccessible until they acknowledge and claim it. So it is with the gifts that lie within you. They are already yours: health, abundance, joy, and creativity, but they await your recognition and acceptance. The question is not whether these treasures exist, but whether you will step forward to embrace them. Many live their lives unaware of this inheritance, constrained by the belief that they are separate from the divine source of creation. They see themselves as limited beings, subject to chance and circumstance, unaware that the power to shape their reality lies within. This illusion of separation is the veil that obscures the truth of who you are, a being made in the image of the Creator, endowed with the same creative power. To claim your divine inheritance, you must first recognize it. This begins with a shift in identity. No longer see yourself as small or powerless. Instead, embrace the understanding that you are a co-creator with the divine. This is not arrogance, but alignment with the truth. When you see yourself as a child of the infinite, you open the door to its boundless resources. The more you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with this truth, the more you experience its reality. But recognition alone is not enough. Claiming your inheritance requires faith and action. Faith is the unwavering conviction that what you desire is not only possible, but already yours in the spiritual realm. Speak, think, and act as though it is done, not because you are pretending, but because you understand that the unseen is the foundation of the seen. This alignment between belief and behavior creates a resonance that draws your inheritance into tangible form. You may wonder, why do I face lack, struggle, or limitation if this inheritance is mine? The answer lies in the patterns of thought and belief that act as barriers. Doubt, fear, and unworthiness can obscure your claim, much like a lock on a treasure chest. To unlock it, you must let go of these limiting beliefs and replace them with trust, gratitude, and a sense of worthiness. The treasure does not need to be created, it simply needs to be uncovered. Finally, understand that claiming your inheritance is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process. Each day you have the opportunity to affirm your connection to the divine, to align with its abundance, and to walk in the confidence of one who knows their true identity. The power to create, to heal, to thrive, it is all within you, waiting for your command. The invitation is clear. Will you rise and claim what is already yours? Will you step into the fullness of your divine inheritance, trusting that life itself is conspiring in your favor? This is not a matter of luck or chance, it is a matter of choice. And the moment you choose to accept your birthright, the world around you begins to reflect the infinite possibilities that have always been yours.
Every morning, the moment your eyes open, the first thought that should flood your mind is of God. As you awaken to a new day, do not let the distractions of the world take hold of your heart and mind. Instead, set your mind on Him, for He is the creator of your life, the one who holds every breath in His hands. When you place God first, everything else begins to fall into place. There is power in beginning your day with a prayer, acknowledging His presence, His grace, and His love that surround you. Imagine this: you open your eyes, and the very first thing you do is thank God for a new day. You thank Him for the opportunity to start again, for His mercies that are renewed every morning, for His faithfulness that is unchanging. In that moment, as you invite God into your thoughts and heart, you invite peace to reign over your mind. The worries of yesterday fade away, and the challenges of today become smaller in the light of His greatness. When you set your mind on God, you are not just starting your day, you are aligning your heart with His will, allowing His divine wisdom and guidance to lead you. Setting your mind on God is not just about a quick prayer or a fleeting thought. It's a commitment to trust Him with your day, to surrender your plans and desires into His hands, knowing that His ways are higher than ours. As you pray, you are reminding yourself that your strength does not come from the world around you, but from the Creator who made you and knows you better than you know yourself. You acknowledge that in your weakness He is strong, and in your uncertainty He is your rock. This is the mindset that transforms your day, your life, and your heart. In those quiet moments of prayer, as you set your mind on God, you are setting the tone for your entire day. When you begin with God, you are choosing His peace over chaos. His clarity over confusion, His purpose over distraction. Each moment becomes an opportunity to walk in His will, to follow His lead, and to reflect His love. You open the door to a life of joy and fulfillment, not because of the circumstances, but because of the presence of God that dwells within you. Remember, the world is full of noise. It tries to pull your attention in 1,000 directions. But when you set your mind on God first thing in the morning, you are choosing to rise above the noise. You are choosing to focus on the eternal, on the one who is the same yesterday, today, and forever. You are grounding yourself in His truth, His promises, and His power. And as you do, you will see the difference in your day. Your perspective shifts. Your heart remains calm amidst the storms. Your thoughts are filled with gratitude, and your actions reflect the love and peace that flow from Him. This is not just about a morning routine, it's about setting your life on a foundation that cannot be shaken. It's about recognizing that each day is a gift, and the best way to honor that gift is to begin with the one who gave it to you. So as you rise each morning, remember to set your mind on God. Let that be your first act of faith, your first step of trust. And watch how He transforms your day, your life, and your heart. When you set your mind on God in the morning, you are not just beginning a routine, you are beginning a journey of connection with the Creator of the universe. In the quiet moments before the world around you begins to demand your attention, there is a unique opportunity to center your thoughts on Him. The beauty of this practice is that it is not about perfection, but about intention. It is about taking the time to consciously focus on God's presence, and in doing so, you invite His peace into your life. The mornings are sacred, for they hold the potential for transformation. For as the sun rises, you have the chance to align yourself with the divine rhythm of the universe. In those early moments of the day, you are planting seeds for what will unfold. Just as a farmer plants seeds in the soil, trusting that they will grow into a harvest, when you set your mind on God in the morning, you are sowing seeds of faith, hope, and trust. You may not see the full bloom of those seeds immediately, but over time, you will witness the transformation that occurs when you make God the first thought in your mind each day. It's easy to be distracted by the to-do lists, the demands of life, and the pressing needs that surround us. But the morning is a special time to pause and reset. It is a time to remind yourself that you are not in control of everything, but God is. When you begin your day in this way, you are giving God the first fruits of your time and attention. You are acknowledging His sovereignty and inviting Him to guide your steps throughout the day. When you make this intentional practice a part of your daily life, you will notice that it changes you. The more you set your mind on God, the more you will be able to see His hand at work in every situation, in every interaction, and in every challenge. You begin to view the world not through your limited perspective, but through the eyes of faith, trusting that God is orchestrating everything for your good. Even when things don't go as planned, when the day takes unexpected turns, you are anchored in the knowledge that God is with you, guiding you and shaping you into the person you were always meant to be. It is in these quiet moments of setting your mind on God that your faith is strengthened, your trust in His plan grows, and your peace deepens. Your morning prayer should not be rushed. It should be a time of stillness and reflection, allowing you to center yourself before you step into the chaos of the day. You can pray for guidance, wisdom, and strength, but also for the ability to remain calm and steadfast no matter what comes your way. Remember, God is with you in every moment, and when you set your mind on Him, you invite Him into every part of your day. This allows you to live with intention, to make choices that align with His will, and to reflect His love in everything you do. Consider the power of the simple act of placing your trust in God every morning. It's a declaration of faith, a choice to rely on His strength rather than your own. The world often tells us to rely on our own abilities, our own understanding, and our own efforts. But when you set your mind on God, you are acknowledging that He is the ultimate source of your strength. You are choosing to let go of the need to control everything and instead place your trust in the one who knows all things. This act of surrender brings freedom. It frees you from the anxiety that comes from trying to control outcomes, and it frees you from the fear of failure, because you know that God is with you. His plans for you are good, And even when things don't go the way you expect, you can trust that He is working everything together for your benefit. The beauty of starting your day by setting your mind on God is that it creates a ripple effect that impacts every aspect of your life. As you walk through your day with Him at the forefront of your thoughts, you begin to see things differently. You notice the beauty in the small moments, the kindness in people's actions, and the opportunities for growth in challenges. Your perspective shifts from one of stress and overwhelm to one of peace and trust. The noise of the world becomes quieter as you focus on the truth that God is with you, and with Him, all things are possible. You no longer live for the approval of others or seek validation from external sources. Instead, you live for Him, knowing that His love is enough and His plan is perfect. This practice of setting your mind on God is not a one-time event, it is a lifelong journey. It is a discipline that requires intention and consistency. Just as you would make time for other important aspects of your life, such as work, family, and self-care, you must make time for God. In doing so, you allow Him to guide you, shape you, and empower you to live the life He has designed for you. It's easy to get caught up in the busyness of life, but the morning is a sacred space that should not be overlooked. The way you start your day influences the rest of it, and when you start with God, you are positioning yourself for success, peace, and fulfillment. Setting your mind on God also involves listening. It is not just about speaking prayers, but also about quieting your heart to hear His voice. In the stillness of the morning, when everything is calm, you can hear His whispers more clearly. God speaks to us in many ways through Scripture, through the stillness of our hearts, and sometimes through the people around us. When you set your mind on God, you are not just offering up requests, but also opening yourself to His guidance and wisdom. You invite Him to speak to you, to lead you, and to show you the way forward. This listening is just as important as the praying, because it allows you to align yourself with God's will. It's in these moments that you are reminded of your purpose, your calling, and the unique role you have in His plan. Setting your mind on God each morning also sets the foundation for a life of gratitude. When you begin your day by acknowledging God's goodness, you are reminded of the countless blessings He has already given you. You are reminded that everything you have, everything you are, is a gift from Him. Gratitude shifts your perspective from lack to abundance. It shifts your mindset from focusing on what is wrong to appreciating what is right. Gratitude opens your heart to receive more from God. Because when we are thankful, we acknowledge that He is the giver of all good things. As you continue to set your mind on God each morning, you will begin to notice a deep sense of peace that surpasses all understanding. This peace comes from knowing that you are not alone. You are not walking through this life by your own strength, but by the strength of the One who created the heavens and the earth. You are not facing your challenges alone. He is walking with you every step of the way. When your mind is set on God, your heart is filled with the peace that only He can provide. The storms of life may come, but your soul will remain anchored in His love, His truth, and His faithfulness. The power of setting your mind on God in the morning is immeasurable. It transforms your perspective, your heart, and your life. It aligns your thoughts with His, it strengthens your faith, and it empowers you to live with purpose. Each morning when you set your mind on God, you are declaring that He is the first and foremost in your life. You are saying that you trust Him with your day, your future, and your heart. And in doing so, you open the door for Him to work in your life in ways you never imagined. The difference you will see is not just in the circumstances of your day, but in the way you approach life as a whole. When you make God the first thought of your morning, you invite His presence to lead you through every moment, every challenge, and every victory. The act of setting your mind on God first thing in the morning is a powerful declaration of faith. It is an act that speaks louder than words. It says, I trust you, Lord. I know that no matter what the day brings, I am not walking alone. I am not trying to figure things out on my own. You are here with me, and I rely on your strength. This declaration not only shapes your day, but also shapes your life. It becomes a foundation for everything else you do. The morning is the time to establish that foundation, to make sure your thoughts, your heart, and your spirit are in alignment with God's will for your life. It is the perfect time to acknowledge that He is the source of all things, that He is the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, and everything in between. In the first moments of your day, you recognize that you are part of a grand, divine plan, and you surrender yourself to His direction. What happens when you start your day in this way? How does it affect the rest of your day? You will begin to notice that your thoughts are clearer. You begin to see things from a different perspective because you are no longer looking at life through the lens of your own understanding, but through the eyes of faith. You are empowered by the fact that you are grounded in the knowledge of God's presence and His love. And with that comes a sense of peace, a peace that does not depend on your circumstances but rests firmly in the truth that God is in control. When you acknowledge God in the morning, you are drawing strength from the only true source of strength. You are empowering yourself to face whatever comes your way, knowing that the Creator of the universe has already gone ahead of you, prepared a path for you, and is guiding you with His loving hand. As you commit to setting your mind on God each morning, you will start to experience something profound. It will start with a change in your thoughts, but it will not end there. This change will ripple through every aspect of your life. You will notice that your relationships begin to improve because you are not looking at others through the lens of impatience or frustration, but through the lens of love and grace. You will find that your decisions become more aligned with His will because you are no longer reacting out of impulse or fear, but responding with wisdom and discernment. Your attitude shifts, your heart softens, and your actions reflect the peace and love that you have invited into your life through your morning connection with God. This is the transformative power of setting your mind on God first thing in the morning. It is not just about checking off a box or going through the motions of a daily prayer routine. It is about opening your heart to God's presence, allowing His peace to permeate your thoughts and actions, and inviting His guidance to direct your steps. It's about recognizing that the day ahead is not just an opportunity for you to achieve goals or tick off tasks. It is an opportunity for you to live in alignment with His divine plan, to be a vessel of His love and grace to the world around you. Think about the difference this can make. Imagine waking up each day not with the sense of dread that many people face when they look at their to-do lists or their struggles, but with anticipation, knowing that God is with you. Each new day is a blank canvas, and you have the opportunity to paint it with His love, joy, and peace. When your first thought of the day is directed toward God, you acknowledge that He is the artist of your life, and you invite Him to paint your day with His divine strokes. No matter what comes your way, whether it's a challenge, a joy, or a surprise, you know that it is part of His plan for you, and that He will see you through it. You trust that His ways are higher than your ways, His understanding greater than yours, and His purpose for you more beautiful than anything you could imagine. You see, this is not just about asking God for things or reciting words of prayer. It is about inviting God into every moment of your day. It is about recognizing that He is in every breath you take, in every step you make, and in every relationship you nurture. When you begin your day by setting your mind on God, you are practicing the sacred art of living in His presence. You are acknowledging that He is the source of all life, the one who holds the universe together, and the one who is guiding you toward His divine purpose. This shift in perspective brings peace. The fear, anxiety, and worry that often accompany our daily lives begin to dissipate as we recognize that God is in control, that His plan for us is good, and that He is always working behind the scenes, orchestrating the events of our lives for our benefit and His glory. Setting your mind on God is also a reminder of His promises. Every morning, as you pray and focus on Him, you can remind yourself of His word. You can recall the promises He has made to you to never leave you, to never forsake you, to give you a future and a hope. These promises are not just words on a page, they are the foundation of your faith. When you wake up in the morning and set your mind on God, you are reaffirming that His promises are true, that they are unshakable, and that they will guide you through the day ahead. It is in these moments of quiet reflection that you remind yourself that you are not alone in this world. You are not facing life's challenges by yourself. God is with you, and He will see you through. His strength is made perfect in your weakness. His wisdom is available to you when you seek it. His love never fails, and His grace is sufficient. And as you begin each day with God, you begin to cultivate a life of gratitude. It becomes easier to be thankful when your heart is aligned with His. When you set your mind on God, you become aware of the countless blessings He has already given you. The breath in your lungs, the opportunities before you, the relationships you have, and the hope for the future, all of these are gifts from God. By beginning your day in prayer, you open your heart to receive the abundance of His blessings, and you begin to see the beauty and goodness in even the smallest of things. Your perspective changes. You begin to recognize that every moment is a gift, and that God is in every detail of your life. His love surrounds you, His grace sustains you, and His mercy renews you every morning. Setting your mind on God also gives you the ability to handle life's difficulties with grace. Challenges will come. Trials will come. But when you set your mind on God, you are better equipped to handle them. You are grounded in His truth and His love, and this gives you the strength to persevere. You know that nothing is too big for God. You know that He is working all things together for your good, even when it doesn't make sense in the moment. With God first, you have the strength to face every challenge with confidence, knowing that He will never leave you nor forsake you. This is why setting your mind on God in the morning is so powerful. It prepares you for the day, gives you the strength you need to face whatever comes, and aligns your heart with His will. It is the most important decision you will make every day, to set your mind on God. When you begin your day in His presence, you open yourself up to His guidance, His wisdom, and His peace. Your day becomes infused with His presence, and you are able to walk through it with confidence, knowing that you are not alone. His love goes before you, surrounds you, and empowers you to live a life that reflects His glory. And so, as you begin each new day, remember to set your mind on God. Let Him be the first thought in your heart, the first word on your lips, and the first focus of your mind. When you do, you will see the difference in your life. You will experience the peace, joy, and fulfillment that come from living in alignment with God's will. You will walk in His strength, His wisdom, and His love. And most importantly, you will live with the assurance that He is with you, that He is guiding you, and that His plans for you are good. Start each day with God and watch how He transforms your life, your heart, and your world. When you set your mind on God first thing in the morning, you are making a deliberate choice to align yourself with divine purpose. It's a choice to not be swept away by the rushing currents of the day, but to steady yourself in His presence. So often we can get caught up in the fast-paced nature of life, responding to the demands and distractions that come our way. But when you pause at the beginning of your day to set your mind on God, you are not merely following a routine, you are engaging in a conscious act of devotion. It is an acknowledgement that you recognize God as the creator and sustainer of all things, that He is the center of your existence and the reason you live. This simple but profound act of starting your day with God shifts your perspective in powerful ways. It reminds you that your life is not your own, that you are part of a bigger plan, and that the Lord is in control of your circumstances. This act of surrendering the first moments of your day to God has a profound impact on your outlook. It recalibrates your heart and your mind. As you speak to God through prayer, you are essentially saying, God, I give you my day. I give you my thoughts, my actions, and my emotions. I acknowledge that I cannot navigate this day without you. This is not simply a passive gesture, it is an active one. You are opening yourself to receive His guidance, His wisdom, and His peace. The Lord has the ability to guide your steps, to open doors that no man can close, and to provide you with the discernment to make decisions that align with His will. When you start your day with God, you give Him permission to direct your path, and in doing so, you begin to walk with a sense of purpose that transcends anything the world can offer. How often do we wake up and immediately turn to our phones, our to-do lists, or the concerns of the day? How often do we let the pressures of the world set the tone for the rest of our day? But when you set your mind on God, it is as if you are putting on a pair of glasses that help you see the world through His eyes. You begin to view the world with a sense of calm because you understand that you are walking with the Creator. No matter what challenges or setbacks come your way, you are assured that nothing is impossible for God. Your perspective is shifted, and you begin to view each moment as an opportunity for growth, learning, and even joy, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem. You are walking in His will, and when you walk in His will, there is no obstacle that can truly stand in your way. Setting your mind on God in the morning serves as a reminder that you are a vessel of His love and grace. Your day is not just about you, it is about reflecting His goodness to the world around you. When you allow God to fill your heart in the morning, He overflows into every interaction you have throughout the day. This isn't about striving to be perfect or trying to please others, it is about letting His love shine through you. The more you align yourself with God's heart, the more you naturally begin to reflect His nature. You become more patient, kind, and understanding. You begin to see people as God sees them, not through the lens of judgment or frustration, but through the lens of compassion. This transformation is one of the most powerful aspects of starting your day by setting your mind on God. As you open your heart to Him, He begins to fill you with His love, and that love naturally flows into every relationship you encounter. Whether you are interacting with your spouse, children, co-workers, or strangers, the love of God radiates from within you. In a world that often values productivity and success above all else, setting your mind on God in the morning reminds you of what truly matters. Your value does not come from what you accomplish or how busy you are. Your worth is not determined by the approval of others or by how much you can achieve in a given day. Your worth is found in God, in the fact that He created you in His image, and that He has a divine plan for your life. When you start your day by focusing on Him, you remind yourself that your ultimate purpose is not to climb the corporate ladder, to gain approval from others, or to check off all the boxes on your to-do list. Your purpose is to glorify God in everything you do. It is to walk in the path He has set before you, to trust in His guidance, and to live out His love in the world. This shift in focus allows you to approach each task with a sense of peace, because you are no longer striving to prove something to the world. You are living out your purpose, which is to serve God and others with your whole heart. Setting your mind on God first thing in the morning is also an invitation for Him to work in you throughout the day. It is easy to feel overwhelmed by the demands of life, but when you start your day with God, you are reminded that you are not alone in facing those demands. He is with you, empowering you to handle whatever comes your way. No situation is too difficult for God to handle, and when you place your trust in Him, He will give you the strength and wisdom you need. This means that even when you are faced with challenges, you can approach them with confidence, knowing that the Lord is on your side. Instead of reacting out of fear or frustration, you can respond with faith and trust, knowing that God has a plan, even in the midst of the unknown. Throughout the day, as challenges and distractions arise, you will find that the peace that comes from having set your mind on God remains with you. You will find that your thoughts are more centered, your actions are more intentional, and your heart is more at rest. You will not be easily swayed by negative emotions or circumstances. This is the power of having started your day with God. He equips you to handle everything that comes your way with grace, wisdom, and strength. But the benefits of setting your mind on God don't end when the workday is over. It carries over into the evening as well. When you begin your day by connecting with God, that connection stays with you throughout the day and helps you navigate the complexities of life. When night falls, you can reflect on the day, giving thanks for the moments of peace, the victories, and even the challenges that have helped you grow. You can trust that God has been with you every step of the way, and that He will continue to be with you as you rest. The process of setting your mind on God is not something that stops when the day ends. It is a practice that flows seamlessly throughout your life. It becomes a lifestyle of walking with God every day, with every thought and action rooted in His love and guidance. One of the most profound aspects of starting your day with God is the sense of fulfillment and contentment that comes from living in His presence. The world offers many things that promise to bring satisfaction, but nothing compares to the peace and fulfillment that comes from being in relationship with God. When you set your mind on Him, you are choosing contentment over striving, peace over anxiety, and trust over fear. You are choosing to be filled with His love, knowing that His love is more than enough to sustain you through whatever life brings. In this way, your morning moments of prayer and connection with God become the most sacred moments of your day, as they ground you in His truth and His love. The practice of setting your mind on God in the morning is not just about asking for things or praying for your needs. It is about seeking His face, acknowledging His sovereignty, and surrendering your will to His. It is about creating a space where you can hear His voice and feel His presence. It is about aligning your thoughts and actions with His will, knowing that His will is always good, pleasing, and perfect. When you do this, your entire perspective on life changes. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by the pressures of the day, you begin to walk in the confidence that God is with you, guiding you every step of the way. This simple but profound practice of starting your day by setting your mind on God has the power to transform your life. It brings peace, clarity, and purpose into your day, and it reminds you of who you are in Christ. With God first, everything else falls into place. Your heart is aligned with His, and your mind is set on His will. There is no greater way to start your day, for it sets the tone for everything that follows. So as you wake up each morning, take a moment to set your mind on God. Invite Him into your day and allow Him to guide you, sustain you, and empower you. When you do, you will see the difference in your life peace, joy, and fulfillment that come from walking with Him. When you begin your day by setting your mind on God, you engage in an intentional act of faith. In this world full of distractions and uncertainties, it is easy to let your thoughts wander and be consumed by all the noise around you. However, when you choose to start your day with God, you create a powerful spiritual foundation. This foundation is not just about asking for guidance or blessings, it is about acknowledging the greatness and sovereignty of God over every aspect of your life. It is recognizing that, despite everything happening in the world, there is a higher purpose and a divine order that is always at work. When you set your mind on Him, you are saying, God, I trust you with this day. I trust you with my heart, my thoughts, my actions, and my future. This act of surrender aligns you with the divine purpose that God has for your life, positioning you to receive His peace, strength, and wisdom throughout the day. One of the profound effects of starting your day with God is the peace that settles over you. When you rise and first turn your focus to Him, the worries of the world begin to fade into the background. No longer are you consumed by the pressures of your to-do list, the conflicts that may arise, or the uncertainties of the day ahead. Instead, you are standing on the firm foundation of God's promises. His word assures you that He is with you, that He will never leave you nor forsake you, and that He is your provider and protector. This peace is not dependent on circumstances, nor is it based on how much control you have over your day. It is a peace that comes from knowing that God is in control, that He holds the future in His hands, and that no matter what comes your way, He will walk with you through it. Moreover, setting your mind on God each morning allows you to invite Him into every part of your day. From the moment you wake up, you are giving God permission to guide your thoughts, shape your actions, and lead you through the challenges that may come. By doing this, you are no longer relying solely on your own wisdom or strength. Instead, you are leaning on His understanding and trusting in His divine direction. God's wisdom is higher than human wisdom, and His ways are far greater than ours. When you begin your day by asking for His guidance, you open yourself up to solutions that you may not have considered on your own. You allow Him to show you the way, even when the path seems unclear. This act of surrendering your day to God is an acknowledgement that, in His hands, your day will be far better than if you tried to manage it on your own. Setting your mind on God in the morning also helps you align your intentions for the day with His will. When you seek His presence and direction first thing, you are making a conscious choice to live in alignment with His purposes. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle of everyday life and to focus on personal ambitions or worldly desires. But when you make time for God in the morning, you are reminding yourself that your life is about more than just accomplishing tasks or seeking personal success. It's about fulfilling the purpose God has set before you. This perspective shift helps you prioritize the things that truly matter: love, kindness, patience, and generosity. Your day is no longer just about checking off a list of things to do, but about fulfilling the greater calling God has for your life. By seeking Him first, you place His will at the center of your decisions, relationships, and interactions. Another beautiful aspect of starting your day with God is the power of His presence. When you set your mind on Him, you create an atmosphere where His presence can fill you, equip you, and empower you. The Holy Spirit, who dwells within believers, is a constant source of guidance, peace, and strength. When you take time to acknowledge Him in the morning, you are inviting Him to work in and through you throughout the day. His presence strengthens you when you are weak, gives you wisdom when you are confused, and comforts you when you are in distress. You are never truly alone when God's presence is with you. This is one of the most comforting aspects of setting your mind on God first thing. No matter where you go or what you face, you can rest in the knowledge that He is with you, ready to provide for you and lead you through every challenge. Setting your mind on God in the morning also helps you resist the distractions that can pull you away from His presence throughout the day. In a world full of constant notifications, demands, and interruptions, it can be challenging to keep your focus on the Lord. But by establishing the habit of starting your day with God, you train your heart and mind to stay anchored in Him. When the day gets busy and distractions threaten to overwhelm you, the peace and strength you received in the morning can sustain you. You will be more likely to turn to God in prayer when faced with stress or uncertainty, because you've already established a deep connection with Him. This discipline of setting your mind on God strengthens your spiritual muscle, making it easier to keep your thoughts and actions in line with His will throughout the day. When you set your mind on God in the morning, you are choosing to walk in gratitude. The practice of morning prayer helps you focus on the blessings you have rather than what you lack. In moments of reflection, you are reminded of God's faithfulness, His provision, and His grace. Gratitude has the power to shift your mindset from one of lack to one of abundance. When you start your day by thanking God for all He has done and all He will continue to do, you position yourself to see the world through a lens of thankfulness. Gratitude changes your perspective, helping you to see the good in each situation, no matter how challenging. It helps you recognize the beauty in the mundane moments of life and find joy in the simple blessings you might otherwise overlook. The spiritual discipline of setting your mind on God every morning also affects the way you approach your relationships. When you seek God first, you begin to see others as He sees them. You are less likely to be quick to judge or become frustrated with those around you. Instead, you approach others with patience, understanding, and compassion. The love of Christ becomes your lens for seeing people, and you respond to others not from a place of selfishness or self-interest, but from a heart of love and service. Setting your mind on God aligns your emotions with His will, allowing His love to overflow into your interactions with others. As you begin your day with God, you are also reminding yourself that your identity is rooted in Him, not in your accomplishments, your possessions, or the opinions of others. In a world that often values external success and outward appearance, setting your mind on God helps you to remember who you truly are, God's beloved child. Your worth is not based on what you do or what you have, but on who you are in Christ. This reminder frees you from the pressure to perform or seek approval from the world. It grounds you in the truth that you are enough, just as you are. Starting your day with God helps you internalize this truth and walk confidently in your identity as a child of the Most High God. When you set your mind on God, you also strengthen your faith. Each time you take a moment in the morning to reflect on His goodness, you build a spiritual foundation that will carry you through the ups and downs of the day. It's easy to let fear or doubt creep in when you are faced with uncertainty. But when you start your day with God, you are reminded that He is in control. Your faith grows as you trust in His promises and rely on His strength to face whatever challenges come your way. This strengthens your resilience, allowing you to face adversity with a steadfast spirit. Moreover, as you set your mind on God, you position yourself to experience His provision in every area of your life. Whether you are praying for financial breakthrough, healing, or guidance, starting your day with God opens the door for Him to provide in unexpected ways. By placing your trust in Him and acknowledging His ability to meet your needs, you allow God to work on your behalf. This not only deepens your faith, but also helps you see His provision in ways you might otherwise miss. When you set your mind on God every morning, you make a declaration that this day belongs to Him. It is a decision to put Him first, to trust in His goodness, and to walk in His peace. It is an act of faith, a choice to live in His presence and allow Him to guide you, shape you, and empower you. As you cultivate the habit of setting your mind on God each day, you will experience His presence in powerful ways, and your life will be marked by peace, joy, and purpose. So let each morning be a reminder that with God first, everything else falls into place. The day ahead becomes an opportunity to live out His love, walk in His wisdom, and fulfill the divine purpose He has for you. Let every moment be an invitation to walk in the fullness of His grace and truth. In conclusion, starting your day by setting your mind on God is a powerful spiritual practice that transforms not only your mornings but your entire life. It is an intentional act of surrender, placing God at the center of your thoughts, actions, and decisions. By doing so, you invite His peace, wisdom, and presence into every moment, empowering you to face challenges with strength and grace. As you align your heart and mind with His will, you walk in the assurance that He is guiding you, providing for you, and walking beside you. When God is your first thought in the morning, He becomes your guide throughout the day, transforming your perspective and filling your heart with gratitude, love, and purpose. This simple yet profound habit will not only change the way you experience your day, but it will also deepen your relationship with God and strengthen your faith. So let each morning be a reminder to set your mind on God, trust in His plan, and walk confidently in His divine purpose. As you begin each day with Him, you will witness the difference it makes in every aspect of your life. Every great journey begins with a single step, but the direction of that step determines the destiny of the traveler. As we stand at the threshold of a new year, there is no greater assurance, no more profound confidence than to align our hearts with the One who holds time and eternity in His hands. The start of a year is not just a chronological shift, it is a divine opportunity to set the tone for everything that is to come. It is a moment to invite God's presence to lead us, guide us, and infuse every area of our lives with His wisdom and power. When we begin with God, we begin with purpose. Everything in creation has a reason for existence, and so do you. Your presence in this year is not a mistake or an accident. It is a part of a divine plan, intricately woven by the Creator. Acknowledging this truth allows you to move forward with intentionality, seeking God's guidance in every decision and trusting that He has prepared a path for you to walk in victory. To begin with God's blessing is to surrender to His authority. Surrender is not a sign of weakness but of trust. It is saying, God, I trust your will above my own. This act of humility positions you to receive His wisdom, for the Scriptures remind us that His ways are higher than our ways, and His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. When we lean not on our understanding but acknowledge Him in all our ways, He promises to make our path straight. God's blessings are not only spiritual but also practical. They touch every aspect of our lives, our relationships, our work, our health, and our purpose. However, His blessings often require our obedience. To be blessed by God is to walk in His principles, to live according to His word. The principles of stewardship, integrity, generosity, and faithfulness are not just spiritual ideals, they are keys that unlock the fullness of His favor. When we align our actions with His truth, we position ourselves under an open heaven where His blessings can flow freely. As the year unfolds, challenges will come. Obstacles will rise, and moments of doubt may whisper that the path is too hard. But starting with God's blessing equips you with the strength to persevere. His blessing is not the absence of trials, but the assurance of His presence in the midst of them. It is His promise to walk with you through the fire, to sustain you through the storm, and to bring you out stronger on the other side. Faith is the foundation of God's blessing. Without faith, it is impossible to please Him. For faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. This year, dare to dream bold dreams. Step out in faith, knowing that God is not only able to do exceedingly abundantly above all you ask or think, but that He desires to partner with you to see His will fulfilled in your life. Faith activates His promises, and His promises are unshakable. To begin with God's blessing is to begin with gratitude. Gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we already have, reminding us that every good and perfect gift comes from above. It creates an atmosphere where His presence is welcomed and His blessings are multiplied. A grateful heart acknowledges that we are not self-made but God-made, sustained by His grace and empowered by His Spirit. This year, let every plan, every goal, and every aspiration be laid at the feet of the one who knows the end from the beginning. Trust Him to direct your steps and align your desires with His purpose. In doing so, you will not only start the year with His blessing, but walk through it with His favor, ending it with the testimony of His faithfulness. To truly begin your year with God's blessing is to commit every moment to Him as an act of worship. Worship is not confined to songs or church services, it is a lifestyle. It is living in constant awareness of God's presence, acknowledging Him in every decision, and aligning your daily actions with His will. Worship brings a unique kind of blessing because it draws you closer to the heart of God. The closer you are to Him, the more you begin to understand His plans for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. The power of starting with God's blessing lies in the foundation it sets. A house built on sand cannot withstand the storms, but one built on the rock will endure. God is that rock. When your foundation is His word, your life becomes unshakable. His word is full of promises that provide stability, guidance, and hope. Meditating on His word daily is not just a discipline, it is an invitation to align your spirit with His truth. This alignment transforms your thinking, renews your mind, and positions you to see circumstances from His perspective rather than your own. Beginning your year with God's blessing also means embracing the power of prayer. Prayer is not just a ritual or a religious act, it is a conversation with the Creator of the universe. It is your lifeline, your connection to the source of all power and wisdom. Through prayer, you gain clarity for your decisions, strength for your challenges, and peace for your heart. Prayer is where you download divine strategies for earthly problems. It is in the secret place of prayer that God reveals His plans for your life and equips you with the courage to pursue them. When you start your year with God's blessing, you must also be prepared for the process of refinement. God's blessings often come with a season of preparation. He does not bless us to remain stagnant, He blesses us to grow, to flourish, and to become more like Him. Growth requires pruning, and pruning can be uncomfortable. It might involve letting go of habits, relationships, or mindsets that no longer serve His purpose for your life. But the pain of pruning always leads to greater fullness. Trust that His hands, even when they prune, are always working for your good. God's blessing is intricately tied to the principle of stewardship. Everything you have, your time, talents, resources, and opportunities, is a gift from Him. Starting the year with His blessing requires a commitment to steward these gifts wisely. Stewardship is not about ownership, it is about management. It is recognizing that everything you have belongs to God, and that you are merely a caretaker of His blessings. When you manage what He has entrusted to you with faithfulness and excellence, He multiplies it. The parable of the talents teaches us that God rewards those who are diligent and responsible with what they have been given. As you step into the year, it is also essential to understand the role of obedience in unlocking God's blessings. Obedience is better than sacrifice, for it reflects a heart fully surrendered to His will. There will be moments when God asks you to step out in faith, to move in a direction that feels uncertain, or to let go of something you hold dear. Obedience in these moments is not just about following a command, it is about trusting the heart of the one who commands. Every act of obedience is a seed that produces a harvest of blessing in due season. God's blessing is not limited to individual gain, it is meant to overflow into the lives of others. When you begin your year with His blessing, you must also embrace the responsibility to be a blessing. This is the essence of his covenant with Abraham, that through him all nations would be blessed. Look for opportunities to serve, to give, and to uplift those around you. The more you pour into others, the more God pours into you. Generosity is a channel through which his blessings flow, and it is a reflection of his character in you. This year, choose to walk in faith rather than fear. Fear paralyzes, but faith propels. Fear focuses on what could go wrong, while faith declares that with God all things are possible. Fear sees giants, faith sees the promise beyond the giants. To begin with God's blessing is to embrace a mindset of faith, believing that he who began a good work in you will carry it to completion. Faith is not just believing in God's power, it is trusting in his timing. It is resting in the assurance that even when you do not see the full picture, he is working all things together for your good. Another vital aspect of starting your year with God's blessing is cultivating a spirit of gratitude and praise. Gratitude is a key that unlocks more of his blessings. It shifts your focus from what you lack to what you already have, creating an atmosphere of contentment and joy. Praise, on the other hand, is a weapon of warfare. It silences the enemy and ushers in the presence of God. When you make praise and gratitude your lifestyle, you set the tone for a year filled with his favor and joy. God's blessings are often accompanied by divine opportunities. These opportunities may come disguised as challenges or require you to step out of your comfort zone. To begin with his blessing is to have the discernment to recognize these moments and the courage to act on them. Divine opportunities are not always convenient, but they are always significant. They are invitations to partner with God in accomplishing his purposes on earth. When you seize these moments with faith and boldness, you align yourself with his divine agenda. Starting your year with God's blessing also means guarding your heart. The heart is the wellspring of life, and everything you do flows from it. Protect your heart from bitterness, unforgiveness, and negativity. Choose to fill it with God's word, his promises, and his love. A guarded heart is a fertile ground for his blessings to take root and bear fruit. When your heart is aligned with his, you become a vessel through which his light shines brightly in the world. Beginning the year with God's blessing calls for a commitment to live with purpose. Purpose gives meaning to your days and direction to your efforts. It anchors you in the storms of life and fuels your perseverance in the face of obstacles. Your purpose is not just about personal success, it is about fulfilling the role God has designed uniquely for you. When you walk in your purpose, you glorify him and become a beacon of hope and inspiration to others. As the days of this year unfold, let your focus remain on God. Trust his plans, follow his principles, and rest in his promises. The one who holds the universe together is the same one who holds your life in his hands. When you begin with his blessing, you are not just starting a new year, you are stepping into the fullness of his purpose and the abundance of his favor. To begin your year with God's blessing is to recognize that every new day is a gift, an opportunity to experience his grace in a fresh way. Each moment that unfolds carries with it the potential for divine transformation, and it is by his grace that we are empowered to seize each of these moments with faith and courage. Our strength does not come from our own abilities, but from the unshakable foundation that God's blessing provides. His blessing equips us not only to face the challenges ahead, but also to thrive in the midst of them. This is the true power of walking in the blessing of the Lord. It turns every challenge into a stepping stone toward greater victory. In a world where distractions and obstacles often seem overwhelming, beginning with God's blessing helps us maintain focus. Life's complexities can make us lose sight of what truly matters, but when we anchor ourselves in his blessing, we recalibrate our hearts and minds toward his eternal purposes. Each decision we make, every path we choose, can either lead us closer to or further away from God's perfect will. But by starting with his blessing, we acknowledge his presence and guidance in every area of our lives. This awareness brings clarity, and clarity brings purpose. Without it, we may wander aimlessly, but with it, every step we take is intentional. Every choice becomes a declaration of faith, and every action aligns with his eternal plan. When you begin your year with God's blessing, you invite him to be the center of your relationships. Relationships, whether with family, friends, or colleagues, are critical in our journey through life. It is through relationships that we learn, grow, and experience love. God designed us to live in community, and His blessing enables these relationships to be built on the foundation of His love. Beginning with His blessing means committing to be a reflection of His love in all of your interactions. This is not always easy, especially when misunderstandings and conflicts arise. Yet it is in these very moments that God's blessing provides the strength to forgive, to reconcile, and to love unconditionally. His love empowers us to break the cycle of offense and bitterness that so often disrupts relationships, and instead it ushers in peace and unity. Moreover, God's blessing transforms our work and our purpose. Every individual has a unique calling, a divine assignment that is part of God's greater plan. Many people struggle to find fulfillment in their work because they do not see it as a part of their divine purpose. However, when you begin the year with God's blessing, you acknowledge that your work is not just a means to an end, but an opportunity to serve His kingdom. Whether you are a teacher, a doctor, a business owner, a parent, or any other profession, your work is a platform to reflect God's glory. It is through work that we express our God-given gifts, talents, and abilities, and it is through our work that we can make a lasting impact on the world. Starting with God's blessing opens our eyes to the deeper significance of what we do. We begin to see our tasks, no matter how small, as meaningful contributions to His eternal purposes. Equally important is the understanding that God's blessing extends to our health. Our bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit, and as such they deserve to be treated with honor and respect. When we begin the year with God's blessing, we invite His wisdom into how we care for ourselves spiritually, mentally, and physically. God desires for us to be in good health because He knows that when we are strong in body and mind, we can fulfill our purpose more effectively. Often we neglect our physical well-being, but God's blessing equips us to prioritize our health, knowing that it is essential for the life He has called us to lead. By adopting a lifestyle that honors our bodies, we are positioning ourselves to be vessels through which His power can flow freely. As you reflect on this new year, it is also crucial to understand the profound impact of starting with God's blessing in the way you handle your finances. Money is not the root of all evil, the love of money is. The key is in how we handle it. God blesses us financially so that we may bless others. When we start with God's blessing, we view our finances not as a means of self-serving, but as a tool to advance His kingdom. Stewardship of our resources is an essential part of fulfilling God's plan, and He blesses those who use their finances wisely, generously, and in alignment with His will. By practicing generosity, honoring God with our tithes, and being wise stewards of the resources He provides, we allow His blessings to flow through us, enriching both our lives and the lives of others. Beginning the year with God's blessing is also about understanding His eternal perspective. It can be easy to get caught up in the short-term struggles and challenges that come with life. But God's blessing allows us to rise above the temporary frustrations and see things from an eternal vantage point. We are not merely living for the here and now, but are called to live in such a way that our lives reflect the values of the kingdom of heaven. This eternal perspective shifts our priorities and alters the way we live. We become more focused on storing treasures in heaven than in earthly pursuits, knowing that our ultimate reward lies beyond this world. This perspective enables us to endure hardships with grace, knowing that they are momentary and light compared to the glory that will be revealed in us. To live with God's blessing is to understand that you are not in control of everything, but that He is. This realization brings peace. It means that you do not have to carry the burden of the future or the weight of your circumstances alone. It means that no matter what happens this year, God is already ahead of you, preparing the way, and He will be with you every step of the journey. This peace that comes from knowing that God is in control helps you to navigate the uncertainties of life with confidence. The storms may rage, the winds may howl, but you are anchored in the one who calms the storm. Starting the year with God's blessing means stepping into the unknown with a heart full of trust, knowing that He holds you in the palm of His hand. God's blessing is a manifestation of His love and faithfulness, And to begin with His blessing is to trust in the fullness of His character. God is good and His goodness is unchanging. His blessings are not earned through striving or self-effort. They are freely given out of His love for us. It is this love that compels us to live in a way that honors Him. When we understand the depth of God's goodness toward us, we are motivated not by obligation but by a heart of gratitude. Gratitude turns our eyes toward Him, causing us to walk in humility, acknowledging that we are nothing without His grace. As we move forward into this year, let this heart of gratitude fuel every action, every word, and every thought. Each day of the year is an opportunity to witness the goodness of God in our lives. Starting with God's blessing positions us to experience His love in every moment, to see His hand at work in both the ordinary and the extraordinary. This blessing transforms the way we view the world. It allows us to see the beauty in the mundane, the divine in the everyday. When we are tuned into God's blessing, we can see His fingerprints on everything around us, from the rising of the sun to the people we encounter throughout the day. His presence becomes a constant companion, guiding us, empowering us, and filling us with joy. As we continue on this journey, let the beginning of the year mark not just a change in time, but a change in perspective. Let it be a season where you lean fully into God's blessing, trusting that He will lead you into greater levels of abundance, fulfillment, and purpose. In every area of your life, from your relationships to your work, from your health to your finances, allow God's blessing to be the foundation upon which everything is built. And as you do, you will begin to experience the fullness of life that He promises, a life that is overflowing with His goodness, grace, and favor. When you begin the year with God's blessing, you align yourself with a divine purpose that transcends your own understanding. This alignment is not simply a passive acceptance, but an active decision to acknowledge that God's plans for you are greater than anything you can imagine. To begin with His blessing is to say, God, I trust You with my life. I trust You with my future, my relationships, my work, and my heart. In doing so, you are surrendering your own will in favor of the divine blueprint that He has uniquely designed for you. There is power in this surrender. Often we resist surrender because it feels like losing control. However, surrender in God's hands is not a loss, but a gain. It is a transfer of responsibility from carrying the weight of life's struggles on your own shoulders to letting God bear the burden. He has never meant for you to carry that weight. He has never intended for you to walk this path alone. Starting the year with God's blessing allows you to let go of the anxieties, worries, and burdens that have weighed you down in the past, knowing that you are walking in His perfect peace. This is the peace that surpasses all understanding, a peace that guards your heart and mind, no matter what life throws your way. God's blessing does not just offer peace. In the midst of uncertainty, it offers provision. Provision is not just about material resources, though God certainly provides for our needs. True provision extends far beyond finances and the physical realm. It encompasses emotional strength, spiritual fortitude, and the wisdom to make sound decisions. When you begin the year with God's blessing, you open yourself to receive His provision in all its forms. You are equipped with the wisdom to navigate challenges, the strength to face adversity, and the grace to endure hardships. The challenges you face in life are never a sign that God has abandoned you. On the contrary, they are an opportunity for His provision to manifest in deeper, more profound ways. And when you recognize His provision, you begin to see every moment as a chance to experience His presence in tangible ways. The way God blesses you is often not in the ways you expect. Our finite minds cannot always comprehend how God works, but His ways are always higher, and His thoughts are always greater. This understanding opens the door to trust in His perfect timing. Starting the year with God's blessing means you are trusting that His timing is flawless, even when you don't understand why things are unfolding the way they are. It is easy to want to rush through life, to seek instant results, but God works in seasons. Each season has a purpose, and each season brings with it unique lessons. Beginning the year with His blessing is a declaration that you are willing to trust God with the process, knowing that each step, each moment, each day is a part of a greater story He is writing for you. Trusting God's timing means acknowledging that there will be times when things don't go according to your plan. But it also means believing that His plan is better. When things don't go as expected, it's important to remember that God's delay is not His denial. Sometimes the blessings we seek need time to unfold, and sometimes God needs to prepare us for what's ahead. What appears to be a delay might actually be divine protection or a time of growth and development. The process of waiting is not wasted. It is often the most transformative period in your life, as it shapes your character, strengthens your faith, and deepens your reliance on God's provision. Starting the year with God's blessing means embracing His timing, knowing that He is always working things out for your good. In this journey, you may encounter seasons of silence. In those quiet moments when it seems as though God is not speaking, remember that His silence is not absence. His presence is always with you, even when you cannot hear Him. The silence is a space for you to trust, to grow in your relationship with Him, and to learn to walk by faith, not by sight. When you begin the year with God's blessing, you are also committing to trust Him in the silence, knowing that His word is a lamp to your feet, guiding you step by step, even when you cannot see the full picture. Trusting in God's unseen work will allow you to walk by faith, not by feelings. Feelings come and go, but faith in God's promises remains constant. Your relationship with God deepens as you trust Him in both the active and silent seasons. There are times when He calls you to step out in faith, to move beyond your comfort zone, and to take risks for His kingdom. These are the moments when His blessing becomes a powerful catalyst for transformation. When you step out in obedience to His call, you unlock the full potential of His blessing in your life. It is in these moments of obedience, when you align your actions with His will, that you experience the fullness of His power. Whether He calls you to move to a new location, to start a new project, or to serve in a new capacity, stepping out in obedience activates His favor. It is in these moments that you witness the miraculous, as God makes a way where there seems to be no way. As you move forward into the new year with God's blessing, remember that His favor will not only be with you, but will extend to those around you. God's blessings are never meant to be hoarded, they are meant to be shared. When you begin your year with His blessing, you also become a vessel of blessing to others. This is the heart of God's kingdom, to bless others, to serve others, to show His love in tangible ways. As you move forward, be open to the opportunities He places before you to bless those in need. Whether it's a word of encouragement, a financial gift, or a simple act of kindness, you are called to be a conduit of God's blessings. The more you give, the more you receive, not just in material things, but in love, joy, and peace. God blesses you so that you can be a blessing to the world. God's blessings are not just for your personal gain, they are for His glory. When you begin the year with God's blessing, you are declaring that your life is a testimony of His goodness and faithfulness. Your life becomes a reflection of His love, grace, and mercy. People around you will see the favor of God in your life and will be drawn to His presence through you. Your success, your health, your relationships, and your peace all serve as a testament to His power at work in your life. Beginning the year with God's blessing means positioning yourself to be a light in a dark world. You are called to be a city on a hill, a beacon of hope and truth that draws others to the light of Christ. As you continue throughout the year, remember that the blessings of God are not just for you to experience individually, but are meant to impact the world around you. The more you seek His blessing, the more you will find that you are being transformed from the inside out. The blessing of God touches every area of your life, bringing forth growth, fruitfulness, and abundance. Your life becomes a garden of blessing, where His love, peace, and joy are cultivated and shared with others. Starting the year with God's blessing means choosing to live a life of intentionality, of purpose, and of faith. It means recognizing that every moment is a gift, every opportunity is an invitation to step into His plan, and every challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger in your trust in Him. God's blessing is not just about what He can give you, it is about what He can do through you. It is about aligning your heart and your actions with His will, knowing that as you seek His kingdom first, all these things will be added to you. When you begin with His blessing, you are stepping into a life of abundant fulfillment, a life that is rich with His presence and overflowing with His love. Every new year is a blank canvas, and with God's blessing, you have the divine opportunity to paint a masterpiece that reflects His glory. As you move through this year, step by step, let His blessing guide you, empower you, and transform you into the person He has called you to be. The year ahead holds endless possibilities, and when you begin with His blessing, you are walking into a future filled with purpose, peace, and prosperity. In conclusion, beginning your year with God's blessing is not just a ritual, it is a powerful declaration of faith, trust, and surrender to His perfect will. It is an invitation for His peace, provision, and presence to guide you every step of the way. As you start this new year, remember that you are not walking alone. God's blessing will equip you with everything you need to face challenges, embrace opportunities, and fulfill your divine purpose. His timing is perfect, His provision is abundant, and His love is unshakable. As you journey forward, be a vessel of His blessing to others, and let your life reflect His glory in all that you do. With God's blessing, the year ahead is filled with limitless possibilities, and as you align yourself with His will, you will experience a year of transformation, growth, and fulfillment beyond what you could ever imagine. Trust in His plan and step into the future He has prepared for you, knowing that His blessing is already at work in your life.